and a welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Great Lakes Honda City coming to you on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. They're open for sales and service Monday through Saturday and all the time online at greatlakeshondacity.com. Shout out to Ron and the team in service. They got my car inspected. They got everything set and ready to go to get back on the road. I appreciate you. We're up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.mixlr.com. So I appreciate y'all for being here with us up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe. We have a trio of our Friday specials here for you inside of MON-FRI's What's Poppin', giving you the list of topics from the day for the day from the place that is literally an amusement park for your taste buds on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Head to Ma and Pa's today. If you're out of town, go to maandpazpopcorn.com. We'll be jumping into the annoying moment of the week first from the Baked Potato Express. Then we will have Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero. And the top dog of the week will be announced, proudly presented by K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare. So with all of that being said here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life, let's hop into the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by the great team at the Baked Potato Express, led by Dylan Husted. You can go and see them in the community. Go to Street Food Finder, and it'll let you know what events they're going to be at. They're at a ton of festivals. They've been at Northern Lights, Great Northern Mall, those parking lots, as well as at the upcoming New York State Fair. They'll be there, and at the Lakeview Amphitheater for a bunch of concerts. You'll find the Baked Potato Express. You will also find on all of their trucks my Wake Up Call breakfast potato. On that beautifully seasoned and soft potato, you will have bacon, egg, and cheese with maple syrup drizzled over it. That is my Wake Up Call breakfast potato exclusively on the Baked Potato Express food trucks, and I look forward to you going out and seeing them in the community. If you'd like them to go to your event, then email them at thebakedpotatoexpress@gmail.com. That is thebakedpotatoexpress@gmail.com. It's time for the annoying moment of the week. Let's hop into it. The longest standing segment on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and I'm going to head to the first thing here, and that is something very strange. Harvard agreed to a $53 million settlement over body parts stolen and sold by former morgue manager. Shall we get into this? Harvard Medical School says that it agreed to pay $53 million to settle class action lawsuits by relatives of body donors whose remains were sold on the black market by the former morgue manager at Harvard Medical School. Harvard Medical School deans George Q. Daly and Bernard S. Chang announced the development in a letter to the community this week, calling the actions of former morgue manager Cedric Lodge, quote, despicable, abhorrent, and a flagrant betrayal of our values as a medical community, end quote. Pending court approval, Harvard said that 2 class action settlement funds totaling $53 million will be established to resolve the lawsuits. A Harvard Medical School spokesperson on Thursday referred to the letter when asked for comment and said they had no additional information to share. The lawsuits were brought by 47 relatives of people whose remains were potentially mishandled and sold. The remains were donated for research and educational purposes. So this is exciting, gross, and very strange, and I would call it annoying in this annoying moment of the week that the former morgue manager at Harvard Medical School was allegedly selling body parts on the black market. You think you've heard everything in 40 years, folks, and then these things happen. So you sit here and say to yourself, okay, strange, very strange, just gross. I don't have a lot of words for this. It's very disturbing, but it is part of the annoying moment of the week. Moving on. There was a truckload of squid. This looks disgusting. The picture even looks like you can, when you like see a picture and you feel like you can smell it through the picture or the video? just so, but squid spilled into the street in Rhode Island and created a smelly okay, let's talk about it. A tractor trailer rollover sent a truckload of squid spilling into a Rhode Island roadway, gross, leaving a stench as they sat in the road for hours in the summer heat. The local authorities dubbed it Squidpocalypse of 26, that is quoted. It was warm and sunny in the town of Narragansett, I think is how you say it in Rhode Island. My apologies if it's wrong. The spill happened this past Sunday, and the police captain Ryan Prest said he was told that the scene, quote, started to smell bad as the squid sat out in the sun for a few hours, end quote, gross. The fully loaded trailer was taking the squid to a processing facility out of town when the trailer dislodged and tipped on its side as the driver was navigating a turn, spilling a, quote, substantial portion, end quote, of its calamad, known to some people as calamari. It's calamad in Italian. For those of you that are wondering why I'm saying it that way, that's because it is the correct way to say it, according to my Italian family. It is calamad, not calamari. So let's just make that clear. Gross. Ugh, I can't. I really genuinely can't, because I feel like I can smell it. I feel like I could smell it by looking at it. Richard Stevens, a Narragansett resident and fisherman, said, quote, squid has a distinctive odor to it. It can be very foul smelling, especially if it lands on the road and stays there for a while, end quote. Yeah, I think that's pretty honest, and I think anybody would say those things. So yes, gross, very gross. I feel like I can smell it right now. I don't like it. So, but that's exactly, I can't. I genuinely, I can't think about it anymore. We got to go somewhere else. So we got to move on to something else right now. I'm not about this. So outside of these moments, I'm looking if there's anything else in the news that really stuck out to me. And I feel like those are probably the ones that have taken the cake for sure. And yeah, I would say that. I don't think there's anything else that's really sticking out from, those are from the Associated Press. So thank you to the Associated Press for that news. I would say another annoying moment of the week is the stuff that trends on social media sometimes. Just like the ridiculousness of things that are trending on there. Just like hateful things against religion and people, and just why that stuff is trending in our country and in the world in general is deplorable and despicable and disturbing. So I would definitely say that that's one thing I'd like to not see anymore, is see things trending that are really disrespectful to a group of people or a religion or a nationality or a race or a color, whatever it may be. To me, I would hope that we could be better than that as human beings and strive for better days and better attitudes and better things to talk about, I would say. So let's get better all the way around. Those have been the annoying moments of the week, proudly presented by The Baked Potato Express. If you'd like them at your event, email thebakedpotatoexpress@gmail.com. We'll take a step aside for a fast break, and we'll be back with Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero right after this. Stay with us.
Hi, this is Gina Husted. I'm part owner of Skippy's Ice Cream. The other half is my better half, Don Husted Jr. When somebody comes up to the truck and it's a family, it's nice that the older generation is nostalgic and they can tell the younger generation, back in my day, we used to have the truck around our neighborhood. So now you're lucky because the truck can come to your party, and you're lucky that this truck is at a festival and you're getting to buy the ice cream. And basically we're ice cream that comes to you now, specifically comes to you, not for you waiting for us, we're coming to you. We will do neighborhoods if you have a block party. We do birthdays, we do anniversaries, parties, we do celebrations of life, we do wedding showers, we do festivals, we'll do corporate events, we have a lot of corporate picnics, we have family reunions, so it's a whole wide range of whatever party you have, we'd love to be at. We're so appreciative of the community, always coming up to us at festivals and calling us to have different events. We have a lot of return customers. We always have people coming up to our truck. We're always there for the community. We always try to give back to different organizations and fundraisers, and so I think the community sees that. We like to give back to them. This is where we live. This is where we were raised. This is where our kids were raised. So the community is very special to us. I mean, obviously, we've lived here our whole lives, so it means a lot that they come up to our truck and that they choose us, because we're just there to please the community and deal with as many people as we can in this community, because this is, like I said, where we were born and raised. If you'd like to get in touch with Skippy's Ice Cream and have us at your next event, I would suggest using our email, skipthecake, skipthecake, skipthecake@gmail.com. That's the fastest way to get a hold of us. It's the easiest way to get a hold of us, and that's going to get the fastest response from us. If you choose to call, if you don't have an email, then you can call 315-456-9750, and we'll be glad to get back to you as soon as we can. Skippy's Ice Cream, the original ice cream truck.
In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Life gets busy, and sometimes that means us running around. So K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare offers you an opportunity to give your dog a place to stay while you take care of what you need to throughout the day. K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare is located on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, New York. You can see it from the highway, and it's just off of Erie Boulevard across from BJ's Wholesale Club. Call 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110 to schedule an appointment to bring your dog in and tour the facility. Appointments are Monday through Thursday after 6:30, where you and your dog can see everything that K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare has to offer, including a self-serve dog wash and a retail store filled with all of your dog's wants and needs, including food, treats, harnesses, leashes, and more, making K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare your one-stop shop for your furry-loving friend. Right, Lily?
This is Jim Dispenza, owner of Game Point Sports Complex. You hear the same story across any sport that kids play and any sport that adults play. There's never enough places to play. That was definitely true with volleyball, definitely true with basketball. It could be cheerleading, it could be field hockey, which is what we're seeing now. Every sport has a lack of places to play, and I think Syracuse in particular is a place where it's really bad. Despite the fact that we've got a lot of athletic talent around here, we just seem to have not enough places for people to play, and they're going to different places. They're going to Rochester, they're going to, Buffalo. They're going all different places because we don't have a place here, and I felt like that should change. This was a long project from planning all the way through execution to opening the doors. A lot of work went into it, obviously, a lot of money, a lot of resources, and the dream always was kids being in the gym, having a good time. And I've always felt like sports is the most unfiltered joy that you can observe with people. The people people can experience, because it is fun, it is a sense of accomplishment, it's all of that wrapped into one thing. And so watching kids going up and down the court with big smiles on their faces has been just amazing experience. I'm looking forward to years to come of that same thing. We've taken the time to invest in multiple sports, and then what we're finding is the mere fact that we have a large, clean, well-lit space has opened a lot more doors for us beyond basketball, volleyball, pickleball. Now we're having some interest from cheerleading. We've got girls field hockey coming in, and then also there's quite a bit of room for spectators. We've got bleachers, we've got benches, we've got a concession lounge where people can get food and drinks. We're going to have multiple sports going at the same time, using every square inch of this place for what it was conceived for, which is basically people to come in, have a good time in the sport that they prefer. We manage each situation differently. Everybody has different ability to afford different things. Some are bringing 10, 15 people, some are just 2 people. I've had a lot of situations where it's a father shooting around with his son, it's a mother playing pickleball with her daughter or with her son, and in those situations come up and we work with people, and that's allowed us to have groups from 2 people up to 30 people and have some flexible pricing behind it. We're an organization that is here to work with the community any way we can, and I guess part of it is just making sure that we have the flexibility to put together a plan that makes sense regardless of the size of your group. So in order to book time, the best option is to go to our website, gamepointsports-syr.com. You can click from there and sign up for events, sign up for your own particular training, sign up for birthday parties, all of that.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City studios. Great Lakes Honda City coming to you on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. They are open for sales and service Monday through Saturday and all the time online at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Let's jump into our next piece of today's broadcast. Following the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by the Baked Potato Express, it's now time for our well-known acronym LEAD, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero. Today's topic, what are you trying to win? I think about relationships and I think about arguments that people have, and it's always, what are you trying to win? What's the result that you're hoping for? Whenever you get into an argument, you're upset, right? So it could be with a significant other, it could be with a sibling, could be with a friend, could be with mom or dad, right? Could be with people in your family, like your cousins or aunt and uncle, or could be with a neighbor. But the question that I've learned to ask people from the knowledge and wisdom I've gained is when something feels like it's mean or it feels like it's meant to hurt, I'll say, what are you hoping to get out of this? Like, what is your plan? What is the thing that you're looking to gain from this? Like, what's the outcome that you're hoping for? I think it's really important to ask somebody that, because sometimes people get caught up in arguments and they don't even, they forget what they're there for. So the question becomes, what are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to win? And I say, what are you trying to win? Because I want to caution people that if you're trying to win an argument, that means the other person's going to lose the argument. So if you win the argument, haha, I'm right, you're wrong, haha, I got you, what is that doing? If I argue with my mom and I win the argument, then my mom lost the argument. What benefit does that give us as mother and son? Because now she lost, she's hurting. So I always caution people, when you're in an argument, what are you seeking to gain? If it's simply to win the argument, to prove that you're right, to prove your point, to state that, I'm the one that knows what actually happened. I know all the actions and the words, and I'm the one that has the book. Because the reality of it all is, we typically don't remember everything completely. Like, I do my show here this morning and I do it in the moment and I give you my reel, and I might remember the topics in the annoying moment of the week, but I'm not going to remember exactly word for word what I said. Now, I'm telling you how I feel and I'm being genuine about those topics, but I might remember I talked about the squid. But if you say, what was the exact word you said? What's the exact sentence you said at 5 minutes and 2 seconds? And then I remembered it to the best of my ability, but I didn't remember every single word. And you're like, see, gotcha. You know what I mean? Like that to me is, what are you hoping to gain from that? Because you're not going to remember everything exactly the same as somebody else. And that's interesting because you may be the two people in the room, but you might hear something differently, or you might remember something backwards, or you might think that something happened in a different order, in a different place. That happens. I think the biggest thing is, what are you trying to gain in the conversation? What are you hoping to address? Because we all have difficult conversations. I've had tough conversations with my mom. I've had tough conversations with my dad. I've had tough conversations with aunts and uncles. I've had tough conversations with friends. I've had tough conversations with someone I'm dating. And when it comes to me, and I can always be better, I'm never seeking to hurt the other person. I'm never seeking to amplify whatever they're upset about. And I feel like it's tough because when somebody's upset and you're upset, you kind of sometimes you get stuck in it, right? Because you go into it going, I don't want to see anybody upset, and then maybe they say something that triggers you or frustrates you. So now you're getting amplified, right? And I think what I've learned in recent history is that I struggle in conflict resolution in reaching somebody on the other side of me. That I think that, sometimes I'm obviously not knowing exactly what to do in certain moments. Now, granted, nobody is perfect. And if you're looking for somebody to say the words in your head, it's not going to happen that way. Because even if somebody reads a script, they're still going to be themselves. They're going to say it with the inflections that they want to say. They're going to accent that, they're going to put the emphasis on words that you might not put the emphasis on. They might say something backwards. But I think what's important is to remember when someone is leading with a pure heart and good intentions. And I can say that I've always done that, always worked to do that. I can't say I've always done it because obviously I've tripped, but I would say, in recent tough conversations, I've always led with a pure heart and good intentions, never wanting to hurt the other person, never wanting to hurt myself. And where I struggle is I may not say or do the things that the other person's expecting. And you always hope that they can take you as you are. Because if you are leading with a pure heart and good intentions, you're not seeking to hurt anybody. And I'm definitely not seeking to hurt anybody. I find no joy in wasting time. And I think some people might laugh at that because arguments that I've had that have lasted hours, but I could promise that I never wanted them to. I can promise that I find no value. Like I find so when I say something's unnecessary, I'm not belittling someone's care for something or my care for something, because obviously if you're talking about something that's important to you, it's not unnecessary. What I say by unnecessary is fighting, arguing, because to me, when I say that is unnecessary, my definition of unnecessary in that moment is that I feel like it's wasting quality time with someone I genuinely care about. And I think, what I've realized in life is people have different meanings to the same word. And you might cross paths with someone that looks at a word totally different than you have and everybody else around you has. There's certain words that my friends and I, my family and I, we all see the same on. And then you cross paths with somebody and the word means something totally different to them. The connotation holds because of maybe something they've studied or something they've learned or an experience they've gone through. You know, what I've realized in life is sometimes things are a little bit more difficult than you hope them to be or plan them to be. But when you care about someone, it's finding it's finding grace. I think it's really finding grace in saying this thing really upsets you. Maybe it doesn't upset me, or maybe it really upsets me and it's not something you've ever had to deal with. But at the basis of everything, how much do I love you? How much do I care about you? And I found in like conversations with family, for instance, that I could disagree with my mom or my dad, but are we really hearing each other? Because I'll tell you, like, I've had conversations with my mom where I'm heated, she's heated, we're talking over each other, we're yelling at each other. And then you get to a certain point in the argument where it's like, but I love my mom, but I don't want to fight with my mom. Like, my mom is so special. And then when I say this is unnecessary, I'm saying we're wasting time fighting when we could be laughing and making good memories. So I'm never one that wants to waste time. And the irony is that sometimes I have wasted time. A lot of times I've wasted time trying to figure something out, or there being a miscommunication. It happens in life. It sucks because you can, like, when you care about something and something matters to you and words are coming out of your mouth and you know what you mean, but they're not being taken in the way that you mean them or you're saying them or what's behind them. And then you can like see this train going off the rails and you're trying to like do everything in your power to keep it on the track, but you feel like there's nothing you can do. And you meant good, you meant well, but it's not coming out that way. And I think what's hard in conversations is there's times where both people mean well and they're trying to figure out why the person on the other side can't see that and can't understand that. And that's where it gets hard. But I'm always going to try and talk through things with my mom because I love her. And I'm always going to try and talk through things with my dad because I love him. And I'm always going to try and talk through things with my brothers and my sisters because I genuinely love them. I may not push with somebody who I don't feel close to or respected by, but with somebody else, yeah. You know, if I'm in a relationship and I really genuinely care about, like, romantically, and I genuinely care about you, I hope that you can hear me because I'm never trying to hurt anybody. And it sucks when there's so much attention paid to words and like kind of picking them apart that you feel like you can't win for losing. And it stinks because I can tell you that I've looked across from somebody that I genuinely could see myself spending the rest of my life with. And I feel like I can't get through to them and they feel like they can't get through to me. And all I want to do is kiss them and hug them and bring our nervous systems down and reset. It's hard sometimes when you're such a great communicating couple, and yet when you're upset about something, you're not communicating the same as you normally do. And that it stinks because, you know, I mean, I've had really tough conversations with friends where we've disagreed vehemently, like very passionately disagreed, but it was some of the best conversations I've ever had in my life. Like, I remember my friend Evan years ago, and we don't really talk anymore, but, and not because of this, but we had a conversation. We were walking by Christian Brothers Academy and we took this long walk And it continued back into the house on the couch. We had a 2-hour conversation about religion. He's Jewish, I'm Catholic. And it genuinely was one of my favorite conversations I've ever had in my whole entire life. And it wasn't a conversation where we agreed on a lot. We challenged each other. There were tough questions asked, but I felt like at least I was learning something. Hopefully he was. You know, you can never speak for the other person, but I felt like that conversation was a conversation to be recorded and shown to people that you can debate and still love each other. And you know, I've had conversations, like I said, with my mom before, where you just in the middle of it are like, I love you, Ma. Like, I love you so much. And when you're honest, you know, like maybe you're in a conversation with somebody and you feel like you're trying to be positive about something that they're negative about. And then they just tell you, like, hey, I'm where I am right now because I see you in pain and I don't like it. You know, like somebody hurt you. And you have to really understand like where people are at. Like people that love you dearly are going to show up. Even if it's hard for a little while, they're going to show up because there's people that you want to go into battle with. You might fight with them sometimes, but ultimately you want to go into battle with them because you want to protect them and you know that they will protect you too. And I can honestly say that it's taken pretty much my whole life to think of a woman that I would want to go into battle with. And when you find that and you argue with that person, you look at those moments and you think to yourself, like, what could we both have done better? Because I only want to fight with her on my side and not against her. And you hope for the same thing. You know, when you're in a conversation and you're seeking for personal gain, that's why I called this segment, or that's why I called lead the topic for today. What are you trying to win? If you're seeking to win in an argument over somebody that you love, you will lose. Because if you prove that they were wrong, if you prove that they're not as smart as you, if you prove that they don't have a good memory, if you prove that, you know, you can figure something out better than, I mean, to me, if you're my girlfriend, my wife, my fiance, and we're having a tough conversation, I'm still on your team. And I hope you're on mine. If you're my parent and we're arguing, I'm still your boy. I'm still that little kid that looked up to you growing up. So don't forget that. And don't forget how much I appreciate the life you gave me. When it's a friend, you know, there's friends that I consider brothers and sisters, and they may not agree with me, but I know why. When you know somebody well enough, you know why. I have friends that are very, very protective of me. Not because they think I'm stupid, not because they don't think anybody's good enough for me, but because they never want to see me get hurt again. And as hard as they may come across, I appreciate how passionately and clearly they look out for me. So it may come across as like somebody who's really judgmental or hard to break through, or maybe someone that's just like a tough judge like a Simon Cowell. But I know it's coming from a place of deeply rooted love because I am their family. And so I think what I've learned in life is I really don't like to yell. and I really try not to. And I used to, do the name call back and forth, and you don't really hear that from me anymore because I don't want to hurt someone. Even if they're hurting me, and I have to ask myself, like, is this person that's arguing with me right now and I can't get through to them, do they love me? Do they care about me? Or is this somebody that really just doesn't care if they hurt me? And you'll realize over time, those in your life that can't see anything but their own ego. And then you'll see people that, like, they genuinely love you, even if they're being a pain in the butt. And they may get lost, and you just have to work through it. I think, when I was growing up as a kid, I thought to myself, the only relationship worth having is the one where you never fight, you never argue, you never trigger anybody, you never bother anybody. Like, they know exactly how to treat you, they love you 24/7, and you know how to treat them, and you love them 24/7, and you never bother each other, like you're teammates all the time. And what I've realized from a lot of research and sitting with things and hearing God's voice and differentiating when he's speaking or when the world is just blowing smoke, the person that you really, really genuinely care about, that you either love or you're on the way to love or you're falling for, they're going to piss you off. They're going to frustrate you because they come with baggage. And the longer they've been alive, the more baggage may have come, and vice versa. And I think it's really hard to handle dating in today's world because there's so many things that we didn't have back then. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have social media. We didn't have texting. We didn't have all these avenues that people can hide. We didn't have ghosting crap. If you like somebody, you really had to go to the nth degree to make sure that they knew that. And if you wanted to be with them, you had to, like, go to their house and knock on the door. And if they weren't there, you had to come back later and try again. And they didn't even know you came the first time unless you left a note on the door. And then if it rained or the wind blew, maybe that note went away and they didn't even see it. So it wasn't the life we live in today where we just send a text message and see if they read it and then are sitting here going, well, why didn't they respond? They read the text message. So I think life has become a lot easier as far as connecting with people, but I think it's become a lot harder in connecting with people because all of these things, there's always somebody trying to give you advice, tell you what to do, tell you how to do it. There's a video about everything, and everybody's an expert about everything all the time. And, I don't subscribe to the fact that we all know everything about everything. I think I know some things. I think you know some things. And I think together, hopefully, we can know a lot of things. But when you're in an argument, if you're trying to win the argument, you might lose the person. And that's a reality. It's a harsh reality, but it's the truth. I think, when I really, really care about you, I struggle in arguments. I know I do. I struggle to remember things. I struggle to focus because I don't like fighting, and I don't like arguing. It makes me very uncomfortable, and it makes me sad because, especially if, like, I genuinely, genuinely care about you. To me, it's like, I want to have great moments with you. And I know there's going to be tough times, but I struggle with those tough times because I never want to lose what matters to me. And, I think when I go through arguments, I'm always afraid to lose the person that I care about that's on the other side of the argument. And so you're thinking a million things a second, trying to stick up for yourself, making sure that you do that, because I've been a doormat to so many people, and people have confused my kindness with weakness and my presence with, codependence, instead of just knowing like I'm only present where I want to be. So I think what's difficult for me is I want to hear you and I want to be heard. And if you said something that hurt me, I want you to feel bad about it and not do it again. Not because like I want you to feel terrible and hate yourself, but like I don't want to have to tell you that it hurt me. I don't want to have to tell you that it bothered me. Like I want you to have the conscience and the clarity and just to know, to hear it come out of your mouth. I think it's really hard to admit you're wrong because you don't want to admit that you did something to hurt somebody you care about. And then I think it's hard to admit you have been hurt if you're afraid of how the person will respond to it, because who likes being told that they did something that was hurtful? So, in a conversation, if you're trying to win, you'll talk over each other. If you're trying to accomplish your own goal, you might be hyper focused to the point where you don't see the other person. But I can't tell you sitting here at 40 years old that I know the perfect way to have an argument. I can just tell the people that I care about that I care about you. I can look into the camera and tell you I care about you. I would do anything to see you happy, outside of like going against God, but I would do anything to see you happy. And I am terrified of not being loved the way that I love, but I can't help but love the way that I love. So I'm always taking a chance with a friend, with romance, with family. I'm always taking a chance. And you're just hoping that the chance that you take this time is the one that works, the one that clicks. You really hope. You do. And when you meet people that are different, when you have had a bunch of friends, like I've had multiple people I've called my best friend, but then you meet somebody and you're like, this person literally will answer the phone in the middle of the night and stay on the phone with me for 3 hours. This person will talk to me when they're at work. This person will come to my home. There's beauty in learning in life and accepting responsibility when it's yours. There's beauty in that, because you're going to be a gift to somebody. So many people point fingers, but very few people will say, hey, this one's on me. And I've tried to be really, really good about that. I mean, the best thing to do is to prevent to the best of your ability arguments and fights and tough times, but things are going to happen. And I think you got to date and be friends with and keep people around you that allow you to be vulnerable, even when your vulnerability is telling them that they did something to hurt you. And it shouldn't matter to them if that's never hurt anybody else before, or the track record is no one's ever cared about it. That's all well and fine, but you do. And, I think there's not a lot of talk on how difficult it is for someone to go to someone that they care about deeply and honestly tell them that they were hurt by something. Because you don't know how that person is going to react. You don't know if you're going to make it worse for yourself. And in my case, telling someone who hurt me that I've been hurt by them has made the screaming louder and the fights bigger and the problem, so far greater. So it was almost like I should take the slap in the face and move on with my life, because if I tell them I don't like the slap in the face, I'm about to get another one. And that's a hard thing to unlearn when somebody comes to you and says, please tell me if I've hurt you, because you are so used to getting slapped for it that you, even if you're willing to do it, you kind of go there wincing and a little timid and a little shaky, because all you know is pain and in that part of your life. So I think we need to be honest with ourselves that no relationship will come without arguments, whether it's family, friends, business, romance. Nothing's going to come without argument. And those arguments could come right in the beginning. They could come later on in life, but they're going to come. And how we handle them it's going to show us who our people are. It's going to show us who we are, because I am never willing to lose somebody that I really genuinely care about. But I am willing to lose those that I really do feel like, hey, they've hurt you and they've done things that you would never do to them. And I'm very cognizant of that stuff. What are some things, that I would never do or never say. And you have to pay attention to that stuff. You really do. No matter how much you care about somebody, you have to pay attention to what they say and do that you think, if you did it or said it, that you would lose something immediately. And we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And I firmly believe if you're meant to be in a loving relationship with someone, no matter what y'all screw up at, you'll figure it out. And I believe that in friendship too, because friendships have blow-ups. And, you might have been friends with somebody, had a big blow-up. Are you still friends today? Did you get past it? Some of your friends you didn't get past it with. Some of your friends did something to you or you to them, and that was it. Some of y'all are still friends. I've argued with my parents. Other people have argued with their parents. I'm still in their life. They're still in my life, my parents. And that's not the case with everybody. There's someone that you can date and there could be silence and you could feel a million miles away, and all you want to do is be in their arms and figure it out. And there's other people that you just had enough. And I feel like you'll figure out who you truly love and who truly loves you with time. Time and space. Two things I've fought most of my life, but the two true things that every relationship needs: time and space. You have to give both to a relationship. Because if you don't, then you never really know where you're at. Because relationships are hard. And I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about romantic. I'm talking about family. Relationships are hard. Because you're going to get on people's nerves. You're going to frustrate people. You're going to confuse people. You're going to say something and know exactly what you meant, and they're going to hear something totally different. The people that you love the most, you'll probably struggle the most with at times. But this is where I ask you, what are you seeking to win? Do you want the relationship to persevere? Or does your ego just want to be right and make your point. Or just have somebody bow to you, right? Wear somebody down to the point where they just agree with you so that you'll stop talking. That's something you have to ask yourself. Because if you're in a relationship and you're seeking personal gain, you're seeking to be right, you're seeking to be validated, and to make sure that you're the one that's got it correct, where you want someone to bend to your will, you're going to be a really, really, really lonely person. But if you're someone who seeks to understand and not just be understood, there's something to that. You know, Tom Hardy said something in his life, and I love this quote by Tom Hardy. He said, "At your very best, you still won't be good enough for the wrong person. But at your absolute worst, you'll still be worth it to the right person." I'm going to read that again. At your very best, you still won't be good enough for the wrong person. You can do everything perfectly and be wrong and not be good enough for the wrong person. But at your absolute worst, when you have messed up and your triggers come out and you're just all over the place and you feel like you're this horrible version of yourself, you'll still be worth it to the right person at your absolute worst. And that's how you know who truly loves you. And that's who you know who truly cares about you. The ones that see you at your worst and love you, care about you, value you, stick with you, stick by you, figure it out with you. If you're my girl and you got me and I got you and we got that, you know, that love, or we're on the way to that love, I'll work anything out with you. I'll work anything out with you because I'll know that you're not going to do something to deliberately hurt me. You're not going to cheat on me. You're not going to be somebody that lies to me. You're not going to be deceitful. But you may have triggers that come out. You may have bad habits that come out. You may, you know, say something or do something and know that it needs to be better than that. But like, if you got me and I got you, then we got to do it. We got to do the tough stuff. We have to, you know. And people think that the tough stuff comes after the honeymoon phase and after all this, and, you know, oh, if if you're arguing in the beginning or if you're having trouble, you're going to argue with somebody that shows you who, I mean, when you spend a lot of time with someone who genuinely cares about you, and there's like real genuine emotions going on between the two of you, you're going to see the muck, and you're going to see it early. And because when you're with somebody whose eyes are everything to you, you're going to see right through them. You're going to see right through them. And that's going to bring about a lot of tough conversations. And those conversations are going to happen really early on because they can see you and you can see them. And neither one of you can hide from that. And there's a beauty in being with someone that genuinely sees you, like sees through all of it. When you're out there smiling and everybody thinks you're happy at an award ceremony and they're sitting next to you and they're like, my man is literally breaking down right now. He's doing everything in his power just to hold it together. A person that knows you that genuinely is worth keeping around. The one that doesn't see that whatever the world sees and the version of this, that, whatever, they always see you. They see you when you're beating up on yourself. They see you when you're doing great. They see you through it all. And the person that is willing to look into those eyes for the rest of their life and know that sometimes it's going to be easy and sometimes it's going to be hard, but they stay, that's genuine love. And so I would tell you all today, if you're trying to win the argument, you are not winning in life. How you feel matters. What's going on matters. What somebody says and does and how it affects you absolutely matters. But there are people that will hurt you that don't mean to because it's coming from another place. And there's people that will hurt you because they do mean to and they don't care. And you got to really figure out who's who. Because the people that love you the most might drive you nuts. And you might really struggle with them through something. But if they love you, they will always, always work through it with you. So, cheers to falling into the right arms. And God bless us all on this journey that we call life. This has been Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, New York. Make sure you watch our videos with their team members that are extremely positive and inspiring. They're called The Light Between Us, and they are all on youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT, and they're on WakeUpCallDT.com if you go to the Partners tab and click on Chick-fil-A Cicero. We will be back after this fast break inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Stay with us.
Big West, only the bold.
Avicoli's restaurant, located on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, has been serving our community for decades. Your place to go for home cooking on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road is just minutes from Liverpool High School. And every single month, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is on site, on location, with Liverpool sports, student athletes, coaches, and administration telling their stories throughout the year. We look forward to seeing you on site at Avicoli's for their casual pizza side, their fine dining, as well as their bar. And of course, you can order online at myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. For takeout, delivery, and catering, call 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. Come on into the neighborhood spot Avicoli's, open 7 days a week in Liverpool, New York. K-9 Campground Dog Boarding is your home away from home for your furry-loving friends. Open 7 days a week with drop-off and pickup times in the morning and later on in the day and early evening. K-9 Campground Dog Boarding is the spot to trust with your dog for short and long-term stays. Call 315-299-4013 for more information. That's 315-299-4013, and go to K9campground.com as well. That's K9, ground.com, where you will find all of the information on their different cabins, which include the classic cabin, executive cabin, grand cabin, and luxury cabin. K9 Campground Dog Boarding, where your dog will have indoor and outdoor areas as well as their own private cabin for any size, any breed, as well as dogs with different needs. Dog parents and dogs alike choose K9 Campground Dog Boarding. Isn't that right, Lily?
Hello, this is Dylan Husted, the owner of the Baked Potato Express. We do mostly big festivals or big corporate like private events. Typically just big festivals such as like Taste of Syracuse, Food Truck Battle, Battle of the Wings. I do the State Fair. They're ordering from a fresh food truck that is making real food and happy to make it and wants them to enjoy every bite. We season every potato before they go in the oven, and then they bake for an hour, and when they come out, we season them again after we cut them. We use real butter, real cheese, real ingredients, so it's all really good food, and people love it. We have a lot of returning customers and regulars that we see very often. The customers really make a big impact, and this is a big food truck community. The events here are super busy. It's like in my blood. I like building things and creating stuff that people love, and me and my friends are the ones that run the truck, so it's kind of, we keep it's a tight circle in there, and we have like a family sort of oriented truck, and it's a lot of fun, and we have a good time doing it, and people love our food, so it ends up making it well for everybody. You can contact the Baked Potato Express at thebakedpotatoexpress@gmail.com or the Baked Potato Express on Instagram or TikTok. We are very happy to be partnered up with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora as the exclusive sponsor of the Annoying Moment of the Week. And be sure to try DT's baked potato creation at all of our food trucks. The Baked Potato Express. Let's get baked.
Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is your one-stop sports card and trading card shop. They have singles, packs, boxes, graded cards, all the things you need to protect, travel with, and showcase your cards. And they're the only sports card shop that I know has every NFL, every NBA, and every MLB team. 92 franchises. I go in there as an Arizona Diamondback, Jacksonville Jaguar, and Toronto Raptor fan, and there's something for me in my hometown of Central New York. Who does that? Nobody, except for GG Cards and Breaks. They go the extra mile, the attention to detail, the work upon work that they do to give you an experience that's truly special, whether you're coming to a sports card place for the first time or you've been there for years. GG Cards and Breaks, led by Josh and Anthony, is a unique and wonderful experience that helps us all stay big kids forever, no matter what our age is. Go there and celebrate today and bring your kids with you. Tuesday through Saturday, they're open 10 to 6, Sundays from 10 to 5 on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York, is where they have their new and used car lots. And of course, the showroom, it's open Monday through Saturday for sales and service. And of course, you go online to GreatLakesHondaCity.com, check out their inventory and get information on all of the opportunities they have going on at any given point in the year. So make sure you bookmark and head to GreatLakesHondaCity.com. KnifeMart.com today. It's time to do the final portion of this part of today's broadcast, and as the top dog of the week, Top Dog of the Week, proudly presented by the wonderful team at K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare. Make sure you call them at 315-437-7110. And, of course, you can go to K-9 Kamp.com. That's K-9 Kamp.com. And you can visit them at 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, across from BJ's. You can see them from the highway, and they're right down the road from Erie Boulevard. So looking forward to seeing you over there at K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare. Not only is it a daycare, they have a full store to get everything you need for your dog, and they have a self-serve dog wash. My top dog of the week this week, that is presented by K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare. I got to say, it's those friends that show up whenever you need them. The ones that you call them and they're there with you. You might not have talked to them for a long time, but then there they are. And so I got to shout out, you know who you are, the friends that you can call that show up for you, cry with you, build with you, work with you, remind you of who you are, and love you dearly. So shout out to the real ones, the friends that just are there for you, and who they are genuinely. Just, it's what you need to hear. It's what you need to see. They don't make decisions for you. They just listen. They guide you. They guard you. And they act as God acts. They give you that love that Jesus would give you. So, to my real ones, you're my top dogs of the week. And I love you. And I can never repay you for all that you've done in my life. So thank you. With that being said, we'll take our final step aside, and we'll be back to wrap things up right after this inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Stay with us.
Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge, and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item, available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily, and we bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen, and we hand bread our chicken, and we hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I want to thank you for watching and listening here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, Monday through Friday, Facebook and YouTube, both / WakeUpCallDT, and on internet streaming radio, WakeUpCallDT.mixlr.com. Many thanks to Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. And many thanks to our wonderful partners in Central and Upstate New York, Great Lakes Honda City, the Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, MON-FRI, the Baked Potato Express, Gray's Craze of Clay, New York, now with game day boards, perfect for football season. And make sure you order them at grayscraze.com /clay-ny. Skippy's Ice Cream, K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare, Pizza Man, Mother's Cupboard, Chick-fil-A Cicero, K-9 Campground Dog Boarding, Avicoli's, Game Point Sports Complex, Willow Rock Brewing Company, and the Willow Rock Pizza Pub. And of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your OnTech Charter High School, Gray Wolves. Make sure you head over to ontechcharter.com to learn about the school in Syracuse, New York that has no districting. Anybody from the state of New York can go to this public school, which offers year-round opportunities, a growing athletic program, and great relationships between students and the staff, and caring about mental, emotional, and overall health of the teenagers that come through the walls here at OnTech Charter High School. Once again, go to ontechcharter.com for more. And of course, be with the Gray Wolves every Thursday for Wolfpack Mentality at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on Wake Up Call, and Leaders of the Pack airing once a month with leadership from OnTech Charter High School. You could find all of our content by going to youtube.com /WakeUpCallDT. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, find the OnTech Syracuse playlist. And you can also find OnTech by going to WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage and underneath the Multimedia Partners tab for more information. Again, go to OnTechCharter.com. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find the Bearcats every single Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time during Bearcat Time, with student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni joining the show throughout the year to tell their journey, their story, as well as the bigger story and the bigger tapestry of what is the Bearcat family. You can find it all on youtube.com /WakeUpCallDT. Over 150 episodes there under the Binghamton playlist on our YouTube channel. You can also find the Bearcats on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to BinghamtonBearcats.com and go Bearcats. I hope you all have a wonderful, beautiful day. We have, in connection with this show, a video airing on its own for our partnership with the Big West Conference, and that is my conversation inside of an all-new episode of Journey Out West, featuring Cal Poly president and the chair of the board for the Big West Conference, that being Jeffrey Armstrong. Go and watch that video on youtube.com and facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT. In the meantime, find us on Facebook as well at WakeUpCallDT, X at CallDT, Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. Have a beautiful, wonderful day from the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. God bless. No stress. Do your best. We'll talk soon. Take care.